So, Nicole, you were on here a little bit ago with the EDM cohort, equipping digital missionaries. Thanks for coming back, Nicole. Among what she's doing with Pathfinders, which is this community. Well, I'm trying to. It's a community movement, disciple. Like I know what you're doing. I'm missing the word right now at hour 10. Why don't you
Discipleship.
explain a little bit about what fellowship? That's good. Why don't you explain a little bit what the what you're trying to accomplish with Pathfinders?
Okay, so hey, so Nicole Howard here, Gen Z, Gen Alpha Catalyst with the Church Digital, co-founder, or actually founder fully, because I can't name Jeff as a founder. He's inspiration. But Pathfinders totally is a digital discipleship field platform for children and youth. It allows for them to have access, especially because the community that I have built this for is our transient community. So our military families, our foster children, and our just by nature our high transition families that just generally have to move around a lot. So it just gives them the opportunity to literally feel as though Jesus is with them everywhere they go. It's a connection that they do not have to relinquish, a friendship, a trust build that doesn't have to be broken down and then rebuilt again.
Yeah, I love you. I love your heart. I love the heart that you want to work with Gen A and Gen Z. I can clearly remember the day that God said, Jeff, I release you from your calling to be a youth pastor, and so I celebrate that day. I love my kids, but they're my kids. I love them. I don't love other kids that much, just to be honest. And so, but your desire to reach transient kids and connect with them. We talked about it on the cohort several hours ago. But I love the passion and what you're some of the mind space you're bringing to Gen A and Gen Z, like the reason and my encouragement for Nicole to be in the cohort is I want Nicole to experience our context for equipping digital missionaries
Yeah.
because I want to come alongside Nicole and help her figure out how to adapt this and contextualize this for Gen A and Gen Z
Yeah.
towards that. Hey, Joey, I am behind. Give me 10 minutes and I'll get you on. He's texting me on here. I don't think he heard me when he said that. So thumbs up. We're good. He's shaking his head. Good. So I apologize. It's been a long day.
No, good.
I love this. Now, Nicole, bivocational, two
Yeah.
jobs, three jobs, 19 jobs, doing whatever she can to make a buck, to pay the bills so that she can. Tell me a little bit, like, talk to me about what your, 9 to 5 jobs are, how you're making money, and to pay for the ministry.
Okay, so I needed things to make sense. You don't want to. I don't want to go out waiting tables, and I'm actually trying to minister to children. So I want to be where kids are. So I have been in foster care for a good 15 years now, and so what I'm currently doing is working with the company called MAC. It's a multi-agency alliance for children, and we work with the children who are high transient inside of foster care. They move around a lot due to behaviors, undealt with emotional issues, whatever you can think of that would make you say to a kid, I don't know if we're going to make it together. That's what they're dealing with. And so having being able to work with them is kind of like being Jesus to the 10 lepers, the 10 ladies with the lamps of oil. Like
Yeah,
you're coming into a house of kids,
yeah,
and they're dealing with borderline hopelessness. Like they don't feel like nobody loves them, nobody cares, nobody's going to be there for them when they get out. So I love working with this population of high intensity kids that are in high transient um, placements. So I enjoy that. And then I do a lot
yeah.
of street ministry. I work with churches. I do some contracting with some curriculum, big name people, no name dropping. And I really try to stick with the stuff that amplifies what I'm doing, but helps fund what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, and this is, I mean, at some level, this is really good because what you found the jobs that complement your passion. So let me work with I forget what the politically correct word, but high maintenance kids and students
Yeah.
who but I'm working a secular job that is
Mhm.
going to give me understanding of how to do my ministry more effectively. I'm putting myself in an environment where I'm being paid to do ministry outside of the space to learn how to be more effective on doing it inside and in like at a bivocational co-vocational
Mhm.
opportunity. Like that's an incredible opportunity to put yourself in a learning environment. And so well done
Yeah.
with that. Now, part of what you're doing, we had on John. I don't know if you've ever met John from Reliant. We had you talking with CJ, but
Yeah.
with Reliant, with several a lot of our high level leaders, who's Nicole is one of these with her Gen A Gen Z catalyst, as well as the people that are going through EDM, equipping digital missionaries. We give them the opportunity to fundraise through the church digital, where Nicole, we're actually very new in this process. Last week, I
Yeah.
think we got started, maybe 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
where it's literally 2 weeks ago, yeah, where
Yeah.
she's actually coming up with a job profile. Like we're actually going to create a job description for her part-time role, where she's working X number of hours for the church digital. Now the money that comes off of that, she's fundraising as a missionary. She'll be fundraising for that individually. She's run fundraising for herself, and that becomes her part-time salary of what she's doing now. The job slave driver that I am, yeah, there's some stuff that I want you to do for the church digital, but I
Great.
also really want you to succeed in what you're doing for Gen A Gen Z, because like the ability, if we could figure out how to make Gen A, Gen Z digital missionaries, and we mobilize and release
Yeah.
some of that younger generation to reach the younger
Oh,
generation, we're
powerful.
talking kingdom change here. Talk to me a
Yeah.
little bit. I know you're new with Reliant. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
scary? Is that exciting? Is that trepidatious? Like what's a temperature check as you're walking into this?
I feel that trepidatious. I feel that. So it's this the fundraising. Like every time somebody says it, I watch my face and my eyes go like. But outside of that, like it's really smooth because it's similar to if you were applying for an honorary degree based on your experience. That's where I'm at right now because
Hmm.
we're not new to this. This in itself is a new concept to be fully constructed, but we've been going back and forth and building these ideas, hence the launch of Pathfinders for almost 3 years. I would say probably, October next year before. But yeah, I just feel like this process is just penning to paper what's been in my head. Like, who are you? Who are you portraying? Where have you been? What can you offer? What are you doing? Okay, put it on
Yeah.
paper.
That's so good. Yeah, I remember, and I'm gonna call myself out here, in a little bit. Yeah, tall skinny kiwi. I'm seeing that chat. Flat Cap can talk to you. Flat Cap's actually in the middle of the process with the client. I would love to connect you with the offline too. I'm seeing that on, I guess that's Twitch. I'm gonna call you out because like
Yeah.
and that's a good thing. No, don't freak out on me. She's like
I'm like,
recoiled, like, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble now.
right, right.
Um, the and this is limited vision on my part. I remember the time when you said to me, Jeff, I can't wait for the church digital to be my full-time job. Do you remember
Yeah,
saying that to me?
yeah. At the end of year
And
one.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, I don't. In my mind in that moment, I'm like, I don't know what she's going to do. I don't know how I'm going to pay her. Like, there was just so much, like, talk about trepidatious moment. I don't even
Mhm.
know if trepidatious is a word. Somebody can fact check that. But I'm like, just fears coming on, in this. And it was maybe lack of vision, lack of understanding. But it was, God's bigger than the trepidatious moments, right? and,
Yeah.
and so yeah, Flat Cap saying Nicole saw it way before I did. Yeah. Nicole living by faith, man. She talked about that earlier. Right, but this is the opportunity, and we want to at a personal level, like we want to help Nicole fundraise. That's why we're
Yeah.
giving her access to the 501c3, connecting with Reliant, allowing that
Yeah.
partnerships where she can fundraise for herself and it be a nonprofit relationship. That's how Reliant works. Reliant.org. Tell them Jeff at the Church Digital said, hey, by the way, I don't make any money off Nicole or anybody else working with Reliant. Like the relationship, I don't want to get into the weeds, but like this isn't, well, Jeff's or the Church Digital's monetizing. We're not. We're helping to create a funding opportunity towards that, and it's exciting as we get to say to people like Nicole, I see your passion to reach the people that you want to reach. I also know that the biggest hurdle you have, or at least one of the top three, is going to be funding. And
Yeah.
so rather than trying to get stuck by that, we've got to figure out how to overcome that. The reason I don't sleep at night, and I sleep pretty good these days, but if I stay up at night, it is how do we solve the funding issue? Because 95%, I'll just be honest, of the 30
Yeah.
streamers that I'm gonna and missionaries and all of those
Yeah.
that are on here on this stream today, one person, maybe two, maybe two of them, less than 10%, have some sort of a solid funding strategy in place because organizations are funding them appropriately. Everybody else is in this game trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so we, the Church Digital, man, that's my heart. Because I want to see that for my friends like Nicole. But to be honest, I want to figure this stuff out because I want my kids to be able to connect well. My 16-year-old, my 14-year-old, and we need more people thinking outside the box. We need more healthy models of what this can look like to be able to effectively reach their generation and the generations beyond. And so, Nicole, man, I just want to thank you. It's just a shout out for challenging us and really modeling that digital missionary approach
Yeah.
for us. Like you and Stacy, you were the gals who were like the
Yeah.
penultimate model of digital missionary, and I'm like, okay, I know they're here. Why are they here? And trying to, like, we would sit in leadership meetings and be like, but they're
Yeah.
here. Why? What are they looking for? What do they want? Like, are they just gonna hang out? What are we gonna? How are we gonna do? Like, and it was we would talk about these things ad nauseum, trying to figure
Yeah.
out what the formula was, and it's so good that we got this figured out. I got to
Yeah.
wrap, but I want to
Okay.
ask, I want to give you the land the plane. Closing
Hit me.
thoughts. What are you thinking?
So I just want to really say that, for whatever's on your heart to give, just know that when it comes down to the area that I've been assigned to, you're actually going to be equipping me to equip children for generations to generations to come. You're doing that same thing for all of us on here, all of us doing this digitally. The work is going to go forward, and it can go forward so much faster with your support. We're going to
Yeah.
get it done because God said, and his word will never fail. So I know that he's on the hearts of so many of you to help us do this work. And I'm excited about what's going to come from this.
Beautiful. We've got, if you go to theChurch.digital/give, there's, I don't know, 20 some projects we're trying to do in
Yeah.
2025. And one of these is to develop equipping digital missionaries for Gen A and Gen Z. That's going to take funding. That's going to take time. That's going to take energy. That's going to take resources. And Nicole's right. Gun to my head, we're going to figure out how to do this on duct tape and a ball of twine. However, funding
Yeah.
would help us be able to do it quicker and to get these ideas multiplied for
Yeah.
kingdom purposes. And
Right.
so the church.digital/give, man, we've raised $7,100 today or for Giving Tuesday. God bless. That's awesome. Thank you very much for doing that. Consider partnering with us. Listen,
Yeah.
I would love a big check. To be honest, today I probably would be more excited right now with some $20 donations monthly coming in. Hey Jeff, I'll give you 2 cups of Starbucks of every
Yeah.
month
Yeah.
and dedicate that towards digital missionaries. So I'm going to challenge some of you to step into that. I can start parroting like for future generations and sing some like really sappy contemporary Christian music songs that nobody knows anymore. But
Yeah.
for him,
Yeah.
just rattled through my head right now, and that's like really weird in this moment. So we're gonna we're just gonna let that one go. Hey, so
Oh,
I asked two questions as
love
we're
it.
leaving usually, and so I'm gonna ask you, Nicole, and then I'm gonna let you go. Number one, um, can missions happen digitally?
No doubt. Absolutely. Absolutely. And they are. They're already doing it. Can't deny the existence of something that's already.
Deny the existence. Can the church exist digitally?
Certainly. I'm so glad that Daniel Heron was on, because that just blew my mind that it was here even before my spiritual awakening, and it will be here even after, as others continue to do it. It's here.
Awesome. Nicole, it's always a pleasure. We will talk soon. Actually,